Hello and welcome to your online math course. My name is Mr. Radom. I'll be your math teacher. And in this little video that I put together here, I'm just going to go through some of the things you need to know to get started in your course and have a successful startup. You might have some questions even after you've gone through and watched the video, so feel free to email me at any time if you have any questions. But let's get started and then we'll go through some of the resources that you have available to you and how you can access your help and your learning resources.
So the website that you'll use to access all your resources is www.thssmath.com. And then after you've gone to that website, you'll see one of the tabs here is Online Math. So clicking on Online Math will take you to a page that has a few links here. So there's a couple of online teachers, Mr. Payan and then myself, Mr. Radom. So I'll show you my schedule here. So click on this here. A schedule comes up. I use an online classroom site called Collaborate. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But basically, anytime you'd like for me to help you online, just send me an email, jeff_radom@sd42.ca, and then we'll set up a time where it both works for us to get help. So basically, I'm more or less available 24/7. Send me an email. I might not be able to reply to it right away, especially if you send it at 2 in the morning. Yeah, whenever it works out for both of us to log in, I'll give you a hand. Now, sometimes you might want to get help face-to-face. I normally work out at Thomas Haney Secondary School in Maple Ridge, and I'm down in the math grade hall, which is a general work area for students, high school students. So if you're also a high school student and you can make it to Thomas Haney, then I can help you there. If you're an adult student, I have some face-to-face times, but if you send me an email, I can tell you some of those blocks that I'm able to help you. But if you're a high school student, these are the days and the times. So basically all day on Tuesday, 8:45 till noon, 12:30 to 2:30. Same thing on Wednesdays. And on Thursdays, 8:45 to 10:50, 12:30 to 1:30. Now this will depend on, this is what I'm available this year. But if you're watching this video, make sure you check the schedule because it might be different depending on what year this is that you're watching this video. So that's the schedule. You can email me anytime for online help and then see me in the grade hall if you want to get face-to-face help. So what does that collaborate classroom look like? Well, that's right here. So let's say you wanted some help online. You shot me an email. This is where you would go to get help online. Click on my link, not Mr. Payan's. It'll ask you if you have the required software. So if you've already got that, like I do, then I'm just going to click Start the Session. I've got to keep something down here, and I've got to open this meeting up. And it just takes a second here to load. Okay, and this is what the online classroom would look like. So there's me in there, but your name would pop up there too. Down here there's a chat room, so you can type some message like I need help with page 56, number 3. Boom, shows up here so that I know that you need help with that. There's a talk button here. You can click on this, and now you're talking live there. So if you have a headset, we can talk back and forth. Once you're done talking, you need to unclick that because only one person can talk at a time. So we can talk back and forth. You can use the chat window, and then this whiteboard here is for me to help you with your work. So if you're stuck on page 56, I'll be doodling away on the screen here, blah, 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 helping you with page 56, number 3, and you're also hearing me talk. So kind of like being face to face, but that's how we can get help wherever you are on the planet. So that's what we can use to get help with your math stuff. So this link is live all the time, so it wouldn't actually hurt for you to go and click on this link even after you've done watching this video, and just make sure it works. If the link doesn't work for you, then you can click on this one here, configure the collaborate, and this takes you to a support site here. So there's some FAQs, frequently asked questions, and you can actually contact some technical support, and they can help you if you're having any problems with the Blackboard Collaborate. There's another good resource here called Learn Now BC for getting help. There's tutoring and study centers. So there's tutors that can help you online too, practice quizzes, instructional videos. There's some math learning resources and some homework help links. So you can check those out. That you may find that useful. So yeah, basically I can help you anytime online. This is the way that I would do that. Just send me an email when you want to do that, and then I'll respond to you, get back to you. So now you're taking Math 10 Foundations, so you can click on this tab, click on this link here, or you can click on the tab up here, 10 Foundations. That's another way to get there. And that'll take you to the Math 10F page, which has a bunch of resources here on it. Don't worry about this MHS resources. You won't need to worry about that or deal with that. If you're starting the course right at the very beginning in September and you plan on finishing in June, then this might be useful. Otherwise, this won't be. But there's some dates here. It tells you when you approximately should have everything done if you're starting in September and plan on finishing in June. Otherwise, that's not going to work because you're obviously starting at a different date or finishing at a different date. There's some formula sheets here. You should print those off because you will receive those formula sheets in all the tests you write. So you can use these sheets on, and there's a few of them here. There's three pages. You can use those on any tests that you prefer to, or that you want to write. Okay, but that's the only resources that you can use on your tests. Okay, so then here are all the learning guides. The learning guides are all of the assignments for the course. Okay, and they're all here. There's 20 of them. Okay, up to Learning Guide 20 there. Here is the record sheet for the course. So this is really just like the course outline. So it lists all the topics, okay, as well as each of the tests here. Okay, so Learning Guide 1 is on exponents. Learning Guide 2 is on exponents. Learning Guide 3 is a unit test. So I'm going to send you a quiz, Learning Guide 1 here. And I'm also going to send you, how that's going to work is I'm going to send you the Learning Guide quiz. You're going to do the quiz. And I'm also going to send you the answer key and a little sheet, how did I do? And so what will happen is you'll take the quiz and you will do it, and you will mark it yourself, and you will send an email back to me letting me know how it is that you did on that quiz. I'll give you a little more instructions again if you forget when you're ready for your first quiz. But basically these are self-assessments. Okay, Learning Guide 1 and 2. And you're going to be able to get some feedback on each of those learning guides. And once you finish Learning Guide 1 and 2, then there's a unit test. And that'll be the one that I mark, and it'll be your mark for this unit here. You'll do some self-assessment on these things, and then a little unit test here, so on and so forth. There will be Learning Guide 19 we're actually going to omit. So this is not a cumulative test down here. Learning Guide 19 is omitted, And Learning Guide 20, there will be a course final exam at the end, which is worth 20% of your mark. Or if you do better on your course final exam than how you've done on all of these quizzes here, then I can take your mark for Learning Guide 20 and make it the mark for the entire course. All right, so even right up to the very end, there's still a chance for you to improve your mark in the course. So that's kind of the course outline. Let's look at that first learning guide then, okay? So here's the very first assignment, Learning Guide 1. So these are what all of the learning guides look like. They start with a little introduction about kind of what the topic's about. Then it lists some expectations. So at the end of the learning guide, these are the things you got to be able to do. Find the square root and cube root of perfect squares and cubes, and then apply exponent laws to simplify expressions with integral exponents. Then there's an evaluation part. It just says look back to that marks record sheet that I just showed you to tell you what's going on. There's some resources that you might need. And then here for expectation 1, it's going to start with, so expectation 1 was finding the square root and cube root. So there's a couple of videos here. The first one's on squares and square roots, and the next one's on cubes and cube roots. So you can watch these, little lesson on how to do those things and take some notes. And then in the textbook, out of the textbook, here's some things that you should be doing, working through here. Then you'll see down at number 9, it talks about a math journal. Now the journal is really just like your set of math notes. So make sure that in your notes you have done this, define what a perfect cube and a cube root is and give an example of each and describe how you would determine what the square root or the cube root of a number is. It may be in your notes you've already got that because you watched the videos and took some good notes, but basically this is saying make sure you know how to do these things and have it written down in your notes section. Here's some questions to do in the book. If you need some more practice, here's some links to some more questions and some answers to those there. Here's expectation 2 now. So in order to learn how to do this, here's a video. Here's some stuff to do in the textbook. Here's some notes to make sure you have down in your journal, your set of math notes. Here's some questions you should be doing. Here's some more practice if you need to do it. Some more, the answers to it there. Now, as you're working through the learning guide, you're not going to hand all these questions in to me. You're going to be doing these questions and you'll be checking the answers in the answer key as you go along, making sure you're doing them right. And if you're not, then make sure you get help. Maybe you have someone else who can help you, or you can log in, of course, or send me an email rather, and tell me that you need some help and I can help you in the Collaborate classroom. But you're not going to hand them in to me, and you would not necessarily need to do all these questions if you felt you knew how to do them. All right, so every math student's different, and how many questions people need to do are different as well, depending on how well you're learning this stuff, or maybe even if you know some of this stuff already. Okay, so there's lots and lots of practice stuff. You do as many as you need to do to make sure you understand what you're doing, because that's what it's all about, is the learning, all right? Not how many questions you need to do. So that being said, there is at the end a review challenge. There's some questions that you can do here. Or if you did happen to know this stuff already, you could just jump down here, and if you can bang all those off, no problem, no sweat, then obviously you would know your stuff. There are some online practice quizzes here too. So at the end of the guide, if you want to get some practice, you can click on any of these. Some of them are multiple choice, and they're just drop-down window things. Some of them are short answer questions. Some of them are problem questions. You can check your work. It'll say I didn't answer some of those, fine. And then it gives you the answers. So, I guessed and got the first one right, but I didn't get this one right. So it'll tell me the answer should have been B. And the short answer tells you what the answer is here, 82, 441 square inches. The problem has a little bit more stuff worked out. It explains kind of how things go there. All right, so here's what will happen. You'll work through this learning guide. Okay, you'll do whatever, watch the videos if you like, do some practice questions. You got a good set of notes. Maybe you've done some practice quizzes. Then at the end of the learning guide, or when you think you're ready, you're going to send me an email and say, Mr. Radom, I am ready for my Learning Guide 1 quiz. And then I will send that to you. Now, when you're ready for the unit test, so I'll just go back here. So that was Learning Guide 3, I believe it was. So Learning Guide 2 is here. After you've done 1, you'll go to 2. Learning Guide 3 was the unit test, right? Yes. All right, so for those, you can see there's not a whole lot of stuff to do because it's all reviewing. So here's some things you can do. Here's some review questions in the textbook. Or if you want, there's some practice unit tests you can do, whatever you would like to do to review. But there are three places where you can write your unit tests. So you could come to Thomas Haney. We have a test center at our school. You can write a test any day, Monday to Friday, from 8:45 till 2:30. Alternatively, you could go to Riverside Secondary, or Riverside Center rather, and write tests over there. I would email the test to the teachers over there, and they would supervise you. Or if you are at another school and there's an adult who can supervise you at your home school, then let me know who that is, and I can email them the test, and they can supervise you there at your home school. And if those 3 options don't work for you, we could maybe find something else that works. So just let me know when you're ready for the unit test, which one or where you would like to do it, or what works best for you. So those are all the assignments in the learning guides. Your textbook is right here. It's a password protected page. So when you click there, it's not going to come and show you all the chapters to the textbook. Instead, it's going to pop up and it's going to ask for a login and a password. Your login, let's get this black. Where are we here? Okay. Their login is, and let's blow this up. The login is THSS, capital THSS, and the password is lowercase math. So any password protected page is going to be login all capitals THSS, all lowercase math. And so here would be all the textbook chapters that you would need, as well as an answer section. Now this answer section, I think, just gives you the actual answers. Maybe that has the complete worked out solutions too. But that's where you'd want to check your answers. Another link here has all the reviews and practice quizzes. So if you need a little bit extra review from section 4.3, you can do that, and here's the answers to those. Or if you just want to jump to a practice quiz from Learning Guide 2, boom, you can pick any one of these. So these are all the practice quizzes for the whole course. And then I'll talk a little bit more about the how did I do's when it's time to write the quizzes. So that should be everything you need to get started, because you have your assignments here, you have your textbook here, you have your Collaborate link here. Send me an email, say, hey, I need help, let's log in at this time. So if you do have any questions, send me an email, and I can help you with whatever, like if you got questions about the course or how things work. Let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to email me anytime. So yeah, I look forward to working with you, and all the best in the course this year.